Yeah, right? Okay, so what did we cover last week? You guys remember?
Stay. Covered tongue too.
Nah, not jumping up. Did we? I don't think we worked on jumping up last. Oh, we did.
Yeah.
We worked on say jumping up, and you know what? We did work on the recall 3 weeks ago. So I'm going to kind of expand on what this lady asked me earlier. One of the difficulties we have with the recall is we put our dogs in a failing situation. So if you know me, you know I'm an anti-dog park fan. I'd really encourage you guys, if you ever think about taking your dog to the dog park, to really do some research and make the best choice for you and your dog. So I'm really an anti-dog park fan. One of the reasons is the dogs get untrained faster than people can train them. So imagine taking your dog to a hectic environment and asking him to learn a new behavior. So with this young lady, I'm going to use the example, I hope it's okay. She has 2 acres, and for a year before she started coming here, her dog's been basically running 2 acres. And she's been probably having to try to lure the dog or try to coax the dog in order to come to her. So for 2 years, this dog's got too much freedom too soon. This is one of the problems with dog parks, is too much freedom with dogs that are not trained. So if you're thinking, man, I want to take my dog to the coast this weekend and let them go run and be free, you need to ask yourself, in your backyard, what's the percentage of your dog coming to you? If your dog comes to you only 30 to 40% of the time in your backyard, what's the chance of your dog coming to you at the coast? In a hectic environment with probably other dogs, right? 0. So every time you put your dog in that situation, your dog does not come, you're robbing yourself. It's almost like telling your dog that, I don't really want you to come. I can't reinforce you to come. Being in a chair, it's one of my biggest difficulties. I can't snap my leash on and off my dog. I can't, a lot of times, physically restrain my dog. So I always have to be thinking ahead of time. This is one of the reasons why I utilize the electric collar a lot with my dogs. It's used in a positive way, but I always try not to put them in a situation where they're going to fail. So kind of keep that in mind when you guys are thinking, hey, I want to bring my dog somewhere this summer and let him go romp. If that is your goal, then work up to that goal. In other words, we were kind of talking, you can get a long line, like, can you hold one of those long lines up? You don't have to unwound it. So this is basically just a dog long line, but you can get one of these at a horse and tack place or a tractor and farm place. Basically, it's a lunge line for horses. It's about 33 feet, and it's a really good opportunity. You can let your dog go, like from here to the end of the building's almost, that's about 40 feet. So you can let your dog go a good distance and work on the dog coming back to you. If you can get your dog to come to you on a regular basis, 40 feet away, 30 feet away. Howdy guys, good to see you. Okay.
But I can still come in.
Yes, by all means. I want you to learn. By all means. You're welcome. Okay, so we're talking about the recall. So you can get yourself a long line, work on the dog coming to you from 30, 40 feet. If your dog can come to you from 30, 40 feet away on a consistent basis, then you can start building up a trust with your dog and say, okay, now we can kind of start taking my dog other places, okay? So I want to kind of expand on what she said and kind of touch on that. I think there's other people that kind of had that question too. All right, so last week we also worked on staying and jumping up. If you guys were here last week, how did we do? Do you guys feel we need to go over again? Did you have any questions? How do we feel on it?
Feel good?
Feel good? Okay. Yes.
I still have an issue with when I turn around, he jumps on my back.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to get him to stop.
Yeah, so that's a really good point. Can I use you for a minute? So one of the things in dog training is a lot of times about conditioning, right? So right now your dog is conditioned. The cue is this. Okay, stand in front of me. Nope, just stand in front of me. Okay, so the cue is this. I'm your dog, and I know when you turn your back, I jump on you. What do you do when I jump on you? You get mad at me, right? You acknowledge me. You say my name, you tell me no. What did I just do? I got you to turn around again. So now I get you to dance, right? So here's how you do it. Turn around, back around again. Do you have act like you have food? So here's what she's gonna do. She's gonna turn around, turn back and feed me. Boom. She's gonna condition me. Turn again and turn and feed. So right now it's called counter conditioning. So right now I'm conditioned. When you turn, if I jump on you, I get a reaction out of you, right? That reaction is a value. Let's talk about $100. That reaction to the right now, the dog is a value of probably $30 to $40, right? However, these treats are a value of $100. So when she turns, am I thinking now a value of $100 or $30?
30 right now.
Yeah, until she does it 5 or 6 times, and I'm expecting the $100, right? So I would counter condition that a little bit. Turn away, turn back and feed. Turn away, turn back and feed. Turn away, turn back and feed. I'd also carry food with you a lot. So one of the things. So this young lady has horses, and I know you have horses, right? Yeah.
No, Michaela's horses.
Oh, okay. Yes, are you in this class?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen you for a while.
No, I missed last week.
You missed last week. All right, good. I'm a man. I apologize. I forget things. Have a seat. Man, I'm glad I didn't kick her out. I'd feel really bad. I did miss. That's right. That's right. I'm sorry. Holy cow. So one of the things that I find that people that spend a lot of time with their dog a lot of times is they don't think about training. They don't think every opportunity that we're with our dog, it's a training opportunity, whether it be a good one or a bad one. So if I take my dog out, let's say I'm going to say, oh, I'm not going to go training today, but I'm going to take my dog for a walk, or I'm going to take my dog somewhere. My dog is learning lessons. Whether they be good or bad is up to me, but my dog is learning lessons. So in your case, you always need to be prepared to reward for good, basically good behaviors. Okay, good question. Any other questions? Yes?
What if you have rooms, but you don't want your dog in?
Rooms you don't want the dog in.
Like the kitchen?
Well, no, I don't like the kitchen. The kitchen, I don't like my dogs on the carpet.
So, but that's kind of getting away from the lesson that we're kind of talking about today. I will give you an example though. Let's say this dirt right here is the carpet, right? Okay, I don't have a piece of carpet. I'll give you an example. So let's say I'm the dog, and right now I just have all this free room, and I don't know any better. Can I use you for a minute? So what she's going to do is she's going to play a little game. She's going to lure me onto the carpet. Yeah, that's the carpet right there. Yeah, on that. Okay. So she has food. She's gonna lure me onto the carpet, and I can come on the carpet. She's gonna feed me, right? Then she's gonna toss a piece of food outside the carpet. I go and I get it. I grab it. She's on the carpet. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna get on the carpet. She's gonna feed me, right? We're just playing this game of tossing the food out. There's no marker word yet. There's no command to it yet, because technically I don't know yet, right? So tosses the food. I go get the food. So once we've established the baseline of what we want to teach the dog, then she's going to put a marker word on it. So then I'm going to start to come in, because she knows I'm going to come in, because we did it 5 times already. She's going to toss a piece of food, say out of the kitchen. Okay, I go get the food, I get the kitchen. All right, I go out of the kitchen, get the food. I come back. When I'm about to come in, she tosses another piece of food, out of the kitchen. Okay? And then sometimes she'll invite me in. Okay? She'll say, okay, and she'll let me come in the kitchen. And she'll feed me, and then she'll toss a piece of food out of the kitchen. Because right now your dog is coming into the area that you don't want him in already, right? So we really don't have to teach him that part. But we kind of do need to capture that in order to teach them to stay out of the kitchen. Does that make sense? So like what I do with my dogs is I feed them in the kitchen, but before they get fed, they have to go out of the kitchen. And so I taught them out of the kitchen, and then I use a high value, which is a food dish, and I say out of the kitchen once, and I'll wait. And the dog has a conflict. The dog says, man, I really want the high value that's in the kitchen, but the only way to success is to get out of the kitchen. Does that make sense? Yeah. So then now the higher value is not in the kitchen, it's out of the kitchen. So you can do the same thing with the room. However, here's the problem. Shut the doors. That's honestly the easiest way, because what happens if you're sleeping? You can't train your dog when you're sleeping, right? So then the dog learns really quickly, oh, hey, the door is open, mom's sleeping, I can go in there. I know I'm not supposed to, but I can go in there. So sometimes, like I said before, don't rely on training. Come up with some, like a baby gate or something like that. That's the only sure way I can tell you to really teach the dog to stay out of the area. Not really teach the dog, but you're blocking the dog from going in that area. Make sense? Okay. All right. Do we feel comfortable with moving on? Okay, we're good. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about two different things. We're going to talk about walking on a leash and healing. I know we kind of touched on it a little bit last week if you guys were here. We'll touch on it again. What comes to mind when I say walking on leash and healing? Like the two different behaviors we're going to teach your dog. Any idea?
Not pulling and dragging you all over the place.
Okay, I like that.
As far as healing, being right at your side, you know, not quite in pace because their legs are shorter than ours, but right at your side. If you stop, they sit. If you walk, they come with you. Just there. You
basically got it. So I define as a formal and a non-formal. Okay. So I don't know if you guys have you seen any of my videos. So I try to post videos of my dog each day. If you guys get a chance, go check it out. You might guys like it. So when my dog heals, he's very, very attentive. It's like this epic thing that I hold very, very dear. In other words, it's something that I do in very short spurts. I want a lot of energy. It's very, very precise. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Lipizan Stallions or any of the horse shows that they do. It's very, very precise. It takes many, many months, weeks, years sometimes to get it very particular. So very rarely do I ask my dog to heel. However, if I'm going to take my dog for just a general walk, I don't expect my dog to look at me for 30 minutes or for an hour, right? However, I don't want the dog to also yank me down the street. So I have a walk command, which basically means you can be anywhere within the 8-foot leash as long as you're not pulling me. When I stop, you don't necessarily have to sit. I just don't want you yanking me down the street. So we have a formal and a non-formal. Most of you guys are not going to teach your dog to heel. The reason being is heel takes a lot of time. However, I'm going to give you the tools. You guys carry through whatever you want to carry through. Most of you guys are just going to want your dogs not to yank you down the street when you're walking. Okay? But if you want the dog to heel, we'll also show you that part. Okay, I'm going to use my friend Christina here real quick. So we're going to do a little role playing here. So the key point in teaching your dog not to pull on the leash is to teach the dog there's no success in pulling on the leash. So right now, if her and I go for a walk, and I am her big, tough boxer dog, and I pull out, and I start dragging her down the street, even low, and you know, and I feel you think I'm gonna die from pulling on the leash. Really, I like this. I'm really liking this. Why? Because one, I really like to pull on the leash, and two, I've learned if I pull her really hard, I get to go where I want to go. I've seen this happen before. Somebody who took their dog for a walk, the dog said, "Hey, there's a tree over here I want to urinate on." And they tried to fight the dog, and all of a sudden they just went with the dog, right? So what did the dog just learn? Oh man, when I want to go urinate on something, all I got to do is really pull hard. Come back, please. All I got to do is really pull hard, and I can get success, okay? So we're going to use this concept to the dog's disadvantage. Okay, we're going to go for a walk again. I'm going to get out in front of her, and she's going to stop. She's not going to walk anymore. Hey, wait a minute, why can't I go anymore? Hey, what's up with this? The moment I turn around, she's too late, she's going to reward me.
You're going to be up here?
Yes, but...
My dog comes here.
I'm a bad dog. I'm not a very good dog tonight.
The reward is here, puppy.
Yeah, exactly, okay. So then I thought, okay, that's kind of weird. So she's going to go for a walk again. She's going to stop. I'm going to go out to the end of the leash. Hey, wait a minute. Last time I turned around, oh, I get a reward. Boom. It's kind of interesting. Now we're going to go back again. Because my building's only so big. Okay, we're going to go for a walk again. She's going to come to a stop. Hey, wait a minute. Oh! So now what happens to the dog's brain? Come back again, please. So now she's going to go for a walk again. You're not going to trick me this time. Where am I going to walk now? Yes, because what's going to happen if I go in front of her? She's going to stop. But I've learned if I walk next to her, she's just going to feed me while I walk. Oh, I like this spot. I don't need to pull you anymore. Does that make sense? Of course, in theory, you guys are like, oh, wow, this... Okay, not every dog is going to do so well. However, it almost can't work if you do this in a neutral environment. In other words, don't think there's a cat in front of you and think the dog is going to turn around to you. Because let's talk about values. Let's talk about, I really like cats. We go for a walk, and she sees a cat, and she stops. Oh, screw mom. I don't care about this. $10 behind me. There's $1 million in front of me. Do you think I'm ever going to turn around? I'm going to want that $1 million in front of me. So this is, when you teach this, especially this, you want to teach this, make sure you teach this in a neutral environment, an environment that is conclusive to learning. It's not like taking this young man here to Disneyland and asking him to do a math test. If we did that, would that be fair? Probably not, right? Okay. I need a guinea pig, but I'm going to ask her to do it. Want to be a guinea pig for me?
Oh, sure.
I know you want to. Only because I know the dog and I know the timing.
Okay. What are we doing?
Really? So here's
I need
what.
special instructions.
Good. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna be the lure in front of the dog because watch your dog there. Because there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot of dogs in here. So what I'm gonna do is in a moment I'm gonna encourage your dog to come to me. When I tell you, I just want you to stop. Let's see what happens. Wait. If the dog turns around, looks at you, boom, I want you immediately pay him. Okay? Then we'll go back and do it again. What's your dog's name again? Riley. Riley! Kitty. Okay, start walking this way. Riley! Kitty. And stop. Wow. I am that good. All I gotta do is explain it to the dog, and the dog... Okay, this is not gonna work for Riley. Okay, I need another dog. Can I get you? Yes, please. Thank you. I feel I owe it to you now that I forgot who you were. Wow, I know that look.
Paid you a lot of money to forget who I am.
I don't know you that well to have to carry on this joke, so normally I'd have a really good comeback for this, but I don't know you that well. Okay, do you want to pull out a handful of food and put your treat bag down? Maybe kind of hard to handle both. Okay, what's your dog's name? Buddy. Maybe I should use dogs that don't have so much food drive. Buddy. Here, start walking this way. Kitty. Ah! Buddy. And stop. And feed. Yes. Good. Let's go back and do that again.
Keep going forward and back.
You back up, please. Thank you. Oh, I like Buddy. When she's not looking, we'll take him home. Put him in my car. Buddy. Okay, start walking this way. Kitty. And stop. Yes. Oh, there it is. Good. So you notice it's a habit, but I'm saying yes. So one of the things that we can do, you just stay there for a minute. If the dog, this is about timing. Do you guys remember the very first class I told you? How quick do we have to feed or reward for behavior for the dog to understand why it got the reward? You guys remember?
2 or 3 seconds.
2 seconds. 2 seconds or 2.3 seconds in order for the dog to coincide why he got the reward. So if Buddy stops, turns around, comes back to mom, and 4 seconds pass, she missed her opportunity to capture that. So one of the things that we can do is we can implement a marker word. So the moment the dog turns around, she can say yes, and then the dog says, wait a minute, yes means food's coming. And you can even load the yes. It's no different than a clicker. Yes, feed, yes, feed, yes, feed. So if you want to use the yes this time, the moment he turns around, yes, and then when he gets to you, pay him. Okay, let's try it again. Christina, will you help me again? Will you clap for this dog? Because I look like a seal when I clap. Yes, you guys can laugh at it. It's a good joke. Okay, kneel down, please. There you go. And stop. And wait. Oh, there it is. Good. Let's go back and do it again. So if we do this right, you should see Buddy not leave mom pretty soon. Okay, let's do it again. And stop. Hold on, don't help him. No more clapping. Oh, there it is. Good job. Good job. Go back and do it again.
Okay, what's next?
Sit down.
Okay, start again. And stop. Oh, there it is. Good job. One more time. I think you'll do it this time. Please don't make it lighter on me, dog. Can I ask why you tell him to sit and then walking?
Because he's so very distractible, and I haven't practiced anything for 2 weeks, so.
Okay, so one of the things I would do, I probably would not ask to sit right now, because what's happening is you're asking him to sit, and then you're just walking. So he's getting out of the sit. You're kind of almost ruining your sit. I would rather, if you're going to do sit, and then free him, and then go for a walk, or just go right into the walk, which would be better right now. Okay? Pretty soon, definitely add the sit, but let's just do this one. And stop. Oh, there it is. Good job. So, you did really good, thank you. One of the things, both these ladies, don't go away please. Both these ladies, because just inexperience, missed opportunities. So Buddy there at the last time, for about 3 steps, he walked right beside Mom. If Mom wanted to capture that, she need to feed right there. You don't necessarily have to stop. If the dog walks right next to you, boom, pay him for that. Because isn't that what we're trying to teach the dog, right? It's not the whole stopping game that we're trying to teach the dog. We're trying to teach the dog basically to walk next to us. It's not healing. The dog is just making the correct choice. Okay? Let's have you try this. Want to try it? Can you take her off the harness? Just use the flat collar, please. Just a little key note. If you guys do this, don't do this necessarily on a prong collar. The reason being is, in my opinion, it adds unfair results. Other words, the dog will only do this when the dog's on a prong collar, because he doesn't want to reach the end of the prong collar. I want the dog to kind of think about this more than thinking about the prong collar. Yeah, you're going to lure the dog a little bit. What's your dog's name again? Lulu. Lulu, that's right.
Hello.
Lulu says, I'm all about the food. Okay, try to start walking this way.
Hello.
And stop. Okay, can I ask why you pulled on her?
Sorry.
It's okay. Okay, let's go do it again. You don't have to apologize. I just thought maybe you had a reason.
Muscle memory.
Yep, just this time just stop, okay? Walk again. Oh, feed him. Good job. So stay there for a minute. I'm going to show you something. How we feed the dog makes a big difference. So look at me and Christina for a moment. If Christina's, stand that way, please. Stand that way, please. No, face the window, please. Okay, yep. If Christina is right here and I'm right here beside her, and she flips her hand over where the palm, now hold it down. Now, how am I going to get the food? What am I going to do? Nope, I'm going to come around here. Why? Because the palm is facing that way. If I'm beside her and she feeds me like this, now I have no reason to come in front of you. That's what your dog did. When you came to stop, your wrist flipped over, so the dog came in front of you. Feed it like that when you feed her. Okay, go back to the window. Let's try it again. Thank you, Christina.
You're welcome.
Nice. Pay her for that. That was awesome. Good job.
Got too many, that's why.
Here, go and finish up your food.
I'll take care of that.
So, okay, one of the things that, and I noticed this young lady's dog and that lady, do you notice the dogs are just jumping all over you? Okay, in my opinion, they're being rude. Okay, they're like, hey, give me that food, damn it. I can't be patient enough. Feed. So one of the things you guys can do is random reinforcement for nothing. In other words, the dog doesn't feel that the pay schedule is enough right now, so the dog says, I want to jump on you. Every once in a while, even when you're doing something else, boom, feed the dog, feed the dog, feed the dog. Teach the dog that there's more success in not jumping up on you than there's jumping up on you. We want to keep the dog's level of engagement and energy up, so we don't want to use compulsion in order to lower the energy, because we don't want the dog up on us, right? And that's not fair, because your first class, I taught you to get your dogs addicted to hot dogs. Now we're going to tell the dog, no, don't be addicted to hot dogs. Okay, does that make sense? Okay.
Can we do it one more time?
We're going to do it one more time. Start walking this way. Excellent, feed her for that. That was awesome. You almost make me think I know what I'm doing. Have a seat, please. I watch lots of TV. So let's talk about marker word here. So do you guys feel that the dog understood the exercise towards the last 2 times? I did. I was very comfortable with that. So at that point, I would implement a marker word. Remember, a marker word is what you guys would call a command. It's where we put a word to the behavior we're capturing. Okay, I'll say it again. It's where we put a word to the behavior we are capturing. So
when I give her, sorry.
Go ahead.
When should I give her the command, when I'm feeding her or when she turns around to look at me?
Can I use you again? Okay, so the first 3 times you did this, walk and stop. I went out to the end of the leash and then I came back. Your dog, okay? Now, the 4th time, you walked and the dog stayed right here. Boom, feed. Okay? And then, now we did it 5 times. What's expecting the 6th time? The same behavior, right? The dog's saying, I can be right beside you, you're gonna feed me. Now when she says walk, boom, and then she feeds me for the walk. Now I'm getting rewarded for the walk.
Do I do this inside of my house? I'll walk 2 miles a day. So do I do this?
Goodness gracious, girl. I would make sure that it's anchored. In other words, the dog really understands it inside your house and your living room before I take the dog. So right now, if you're having to use physical pressure in order to get the dog to walk, I would not take that dog for a walk. Just me. Okay, because look at the inconsistent message you're sending the dog. So here, the dog showed that the dog has the ability to do this, right? Let's say you're going to take the dog on a 2-mile walk. You're asking the dog way too much, too long. So after 20 steps, the dog goes back to the old behavior. Well, then you're sending the incorrect messages. I would rather you do this in your house, in your yard, for a good month or 2, and the dog really understands it's really anchored, and then start saying, okay, now I'm going to try to walk down my street. Dog does good, do that for a week or 2. Next time, I'm going to go around the block. Dog does good for around my block. I'm going to do that for a month. Now I'm going to go for 3 blocks. Does that make sense? You have to build up trust that the dog understands it, and you have to be fair that you don't put the dog in a situation where it's going to fail.
If I don't walk her, she's so hyper.
Then right now, but there's other ways you can find a way to get the energy out. Like a flirt pole works awesome. A chuck it in the backyard. There's other ways to get her energy out than walks. In fact, a flirt pole? Man, I should have. It's okay. I should have. Do you have one? Okay, she'll grab a flirt pole. So, man, you guys are really interested in flirt poles. I should sell flirt poles now. Actually, I do sell flirt poles, but online. So a flirt pole, you'll see in a minute, but we can make one. Basically, they're a horse lunge whip. We use a lot of horse products. So there's a horse lunge whip we take and we put a toy on the end. And so it makes it come to life. Imagine this. How many of your dogs would love to chase a cat? Okay, yes, a cat. Really?
It's the dog version of a little cat.
Yes, basically, yeah, it's a dog version of a little cat, but it's bigger.
This is a puppy flirt pole. I use a different one for my guys now, but it's anything like this.
She's like, yes.
She likes it.
Yeah. So the idea is you can be in a small area and go in circles, and it wears the dog out very quickly.
Like this, and they
Yep, they chase it.
And chase it. And for larger dogs, you can get like a lunch or
A ledgy whip for horse. Yep.
and put a toy at the end of it, and then just
It wears the dog out very
gives
quickly.
them a good workout.
We do this with our working puppies when they're up to 6 months sometimes, just to 1, to build drive, and 2, sometimes to wear them out. So. Actually, so I have a very fast RC car that goes about 90 miles an hour. I put a tug like this on the end of it and run it out to my field. It wears my dogs out very quickly. So getting back to training, you can find other ways to wear your dog out or exercise your dog than take him on than long walks. In fact, imagine this. Imagine you take your dog around your block that's all concrete and you take him for a 2-mile walk. That's actually really hard on their bodies. There's a lot of new research that's coming out that they think it kind of early arthritis, just because you guys all have shoes on when you walk, and that absorbs a lot of the energy. Dogs, they don't have much, and so their shoulders, a lot of their ligaments absorb that energy, and it's kind of hard on them. So, anyways. Okay. Does anybody else want to do the walking before we move on? Are we good? Do we understand it? You guys feel comfortable? You can work on this part. Okay, now let's talk about healing. Can you grab Jolie for me? No, Jolie, please. So healing is all about the basic position. Healing is all about... Healing is about head position. That's really what it is. So in a minute, what Christine's going to show you here is your dogs are going to be a sit. We're going to do this as a group in a moment here. So she's going to bring Jolie out. Yeah. The poor dogs are thinking, man, don't let her touch me. Okay, so your dog is going to sit. Now, a lot of times the question comes up, should I teach my dog to heel on the right or left? You know, this is a personal thing. To me, my brain is for the left just because most of the competition I've done is always on the dogs on the left.
You know why it's the left?
Huh?
You know why it started out on the left?
I do not.
That was on the right.
Oh, good point. That's actually really interesting.
Everything's on your right.
So, if you want to teach the dog to heel on both sides, you just have to work on both sides. Tonight, we're just going to do the left just because it's the way my brain works. Okay, so you're going to ask your dog to sit. You're going to get beside your dog.
Sit.
You may also want to feed the dog for the sit because we're still kind of working on that piece.
Sit. Good, Jolene. Yes.
Okay, now she's going to have food in her left hand. We always have food on the side the dog is on. Do you guys know why? Do what? I think you're almost right there. So if she has food in the right, the dog is going to come in front of her, and positioning is going to be off. If the dog's on her left, then the dog will look straight up, which is kind of what we want. Okay. So here's what she's going to do. She's going to show the dog the food. Oh, good. She's going to feed it a couple times just for sitting there and looking up. Okay. And then once the dog is looking up, she's going to say heel and feed.
Heel.
And feed. That's all she's going to do. We're not going to work on steps. Yeah, the head is supposed to be up. Jolie's head doesn't go up. Okay. Heel and feed.
Heel.
And feed. Good. And we're going to do this 5, 6, 7 times, and then you're going to release your dog. You're going to reload.
Free.
Okay.
Good job.
Then you're going to ask your dog to sit again.
Sit. Ooh, good.
Okay. And the feet again. So basically, heel means I pick my head up. Now, if we do that enough and we get that anchored, what's going to happen when she says heel and take a step?
Heel.
The dog is going to move with her, and the dog is going to have its head up, and it's going to sit. So we're almost working on 3 things all at once here. We're working on the dog in the right position. So the dog learns my shoulder blade is lined up with your leg. We're working on heel means I look up. And we're working on when the dog stops, I sit automatically. So there's 3 things we're capturing here. Okay? So let's have you guys do this. Go ahead and stand up. Don't put your dog in the basic position, like just tell them to sit. You get beside them. Food in your left. Look at Christina's elbow for a minute. Sorry, I forgot to show you with the arm. So elbow out, hand above the dog's head. The elbow makes a big difference. So make sure your arm is away from you like Christina's, not flat to your body.
Sit. Sit.
Good, okay. Try to get beside your dog.
Sit.
Here, watch this. Put the food, hold the food right in front of his nose and now get in position. Turn your wrist over, turn your wrist over. There you go. There you go. And free him. Good. So have enough food in your hand next time so you can feed him a couple times there and then release him. Good job.
Yeah, so
Sit.
Okay, watch. So she's not ready to just ask her to sit. You're really still in the luring stage where you need to help the dog a lot, okay? It's even though her body's this big, she's still very, very young, okay? Always remind yourself, even though her body is this big, her mind is still very young. Good job. So you're rushing a little bit. Watch this. Pull some food out. Okay. Put your hand right there. Keep it right there. Now say heel and take it. Wait, do you have food still? Reload again, please. Yeah, don't give it to her. Put your hand right in front of her nose from it. Okay, say heel and take a slow step forward. Heel. And stop. Oh, good job. You took your first step. So don't ask for more than one step right now, okay? Obviously, either you've done this or...
Well, I walk with him on the leash and feed it next to me,
Then-
so he doesn't pull me.
Gotcha. Good job. How's she doing?
He's very food
She
motivated.
likes to look at me.
That's not a bad thing.
But as far as getting her like stand with me and face it, doesn't sound right.
Here, watch. Pull out some food. Okay. When you're ready, ask her to sit.
Sit.
Good. Okay, now hold your hand with the food in right in front of her nose. Now you get beside her. Leave your hand right there. Okay, flip your wrist over, palm towards her nose. Oh, almost. There you go. Now ask her to sit. Try it again. Bring your hand back a little bit. Bring your hand back a little bit. Oh, there you go. Bring it up and back a little bit.
Okay, so put the food in the direction of how I want her to be.
Kind of, yes.
Okay. Roxy, sit.
Okay, stick your elbow out towards me. Now bring your hand out towards me. There, that's what, oh, see that head, the difference in her head? Made a huge difference, plus she's not pushing into your leg, right? Okay, ask her to sit. Awesome, look at that, you did it.
Girl.
Okay, wait. Say heel and feed her, don't walk though. Say heel
Heel.
and feed. Good, do that 5 more times, okay? And then free her and reload. Excellent, good job. Okay. Yeah, pull out a good handful. Okay, when you're ready, ask her to sit.
No, sit. Peter?
Yes, please, always. Good. Okay, put your hand right in front of her nose right now. Okay, now you turn and get beside her. Leave your hand right there. Leave your hand right there. Oh, bring your hand. Okay, almost. Can you take the leash, please? Can you hand her the leash? We're gonna bind.
She kind of didn't know.
That's okay. We're gonna bind this a little bit. So basically, we're gonna add a little bit of leash pressure in order to help her, help her hold her position. Okay, stand in front of her. Okay, put your food right in front of her nose. Okay, now you get beside her. Put a little bit of leash pressure. Turn your wrist over. Turn your wrist over. Elbow out. Bring it out, and bring your hand towards Christina a little bit. There you go, right there. That's how I want your hand. So try it again. Come in front of her. There, look at that. There you go. Good. Bring your hand back a little bit. Backwards. There you go. Bring your arm back a little bit too. That's right there. So your hand's a little bit too far forward. Yep. Because look at her scapula. It's her shoulder blade. You want her shoulder blade lined up with your leg. To me, that's a good position. Good job.
So she's holding her, so how do I do that when I don't have
Okay,
anything
so
to hold her?
a couple different ways. One, you can ask your husband to do it, and she's adding just a little bit of pressure. It's not a lot. Or two, you back tie her. You tie her to a fence, a bed, whatever you can, just to add a little pressure. And once she understands that you getting beside her is more powerful than her being in front of you, pretty soon you won't have to do that. Good. She added very little pressure that time. Like very little.
And then tell her what, now walk?
No, wait. Turn your wrist over. There you go. Say heel and feed. Don't walk though.
Heel.
Okay, take your hand away, straight up. Bring it back down, say heel.
Heel.
Good. Take your hand away, bring it back down and feed. You gotta feed it.
You can make it.
Okay.
Don't make it. Okay.
Good. Take your hand away
Good girl.
and say heel and feed.
Heel.
And take your hand away. Say heel and feed.
Heel.
Good. Say, okay, don't move from it. Do you guys see where she's taking her hand away? Her hand is coming up to her stomach. So what did the dog do? Yes. So one of the things that you guys can do is when you take your hand away, take it straight up. Almost like you're bringing it up to your armpit. Okay, try to get beside her again. Here, we'll watch this dog just for 1 second. Nope, don't move until yeah, you haven't got that point yet. Now try to get beside her. Flip your wrist over. There, good, excellent job. Say heel and feed.
Heel.
Good, take your hand straight away and feed. Excellent. Bring it back a little bit.
Heel.
Okay, your hand's starting to go too far forward. Bring it back.
Back more.
Yep, now bring your hand straight up. Okay, now look how far forward it came.
So keep it back.
You gotta keep it back. Now bring it up. There you go, like that. Heel.
Heel.
Good.
Heel. No.
Look.
Doodle.
You know what, you did 2 good reps. Let's stop there for a second, okay? So one of the reasons why this dog wants to come in front of her is because up to now, everything good has come in front of her. I mean, everything good has come in front of her. There's no power to being beside her. And a lot of your dogs are going to be this way. The dog's going to say, well, wait a minute. All the reward comes when I'm in front of you. Why would I ever want to go beside you? Okay? Can I use you for a minute? Please? So once you guys have this step, okay, do you have some food? So once you have this step, don't walk from it. Say heel and feed. Good. So once you're here, where you can say heel and the dog obviously is looking up at you. Okay, can you show them the next step? The next step, wait. Oh, there you go. Next step is this. Okay, do exactly what I showed you earlier. She says heel. And stops. And there you go. So you're probably thinking, wait a minute, that dog only took 1 step. But 3 things happened here. 1, the dog's head's up, which is the foundation to healing. 2, the dog moved with her when she said heel. And 3, the dog automatically sat. So you're capturing 3 things all in one little technique here. So once she can do 1 step, maybe in a couple days she'll add 3 steps, 4 steps. And then pretty soon, she'll be walking miles and the dog will stare at her. Excellent job. Good job. Does that make sense what she's doing? All right. We got a couple minutes. Let's see you guys try it. Let's see if you can take 1 step with your dog. Let's see if you can get 1 step.
How loose should I have this?
So here, I'll show you something else. Take the leash and put it behind your backside. Yep. No flip, like all the way, take it off your hand, put it behind your backside, and put it back on your right hand. Okay, put it around your butt. There you go, and hold it with your other hand behind you. No, there you go. You got it. You got it.
So hold it with my right hand.
You got it. Okay, now add a little bit of pressure. A little bit of pressure. Now get beside her. And feel, look at that. You almost got beside her. So basically, you're doing the same thing that Christina was doing, but you're just adding a little bit of pressure. A little bit of pressure. Now, where's your wrist? Turn your wrist over, like that. There you go.
Heel.
Almost. So, wait. Tell her sit for a minute.
Sit. No, she didn't sit. Sit.
Okay. Wait. Reload for me. Okay. Leave your hand. So you dropped $1 million. I would pick it up too. Good job, by the way. Can you guys help her?
Sit.
Okay, straighten your. No, you turn your wrist over. Palm. There you go. And leave your hand right there. Oh, you dropped a piece. Okay, leave your hand right there in front of her nose. There you go. Now say heel and take a step. Leave it right there. Stop. Good job. So it's gonna be a little bit difficult for you. You're going to really work on that piece not coming in front of you. When you do this at home, go along a wall, like kind of close to a wall, and that'll also help. It's not that. Yes, it will stop her because she'll be able to flip in front of you still, but it will deter her from doing it. Plus, it'll give you kind of a barrier there to kind of know. Okay.
What am I doing wrong now? She's all jumping.
Okay, bring the leash down lower. There you go. Put the food right in front of her nose. And turn and give a cider. Excellent. And feed her. Good.
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so he's doing really good, no? Sit. But then he doesn't want to walk with me.
Sure, because right now he thinks I'll only sit beside you, and that gets me worried. Watch. Put the food right in front of his nose for a minute. Oh, try it again. So he's facing the right way.
No, sit.
Okay, bring it down. Okay, now say heel and take a step. Leave your hand right there. Right there. Walk. Take a step. And stop. Look at that. Good job. So you're just going to capture that little bit of movement. Try it again. Say heel and take a step. Nicely done. He's a cool dog. I love him.
Heel.
Is he a little healer pit bull mix?
He's a healer and Catahoula.
Really? Catahoula?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got such a big head for a Catahoula. I like him. How's it? Are you taking off?
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure? Can you wait a couple minutes?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well, not quite done. I gotta give you a slip too. Yeah.
Your graduation?
You got it. All right. Good job. Nicely done. So one of the things I would suggest is don't take such an abrupt step. Make this kind of smooth. It's kind of like dancing with your husband, okay? Excellent. That was way better already. Way to go. You must take dancing.
No, I missed your jumping class. That was the one I needed.
Bloody hell. I'll help you. Okay? Good job. So the only comment I would say, when you take a step, your hand is kind of going back. The hand is kind of there as a focal point for the dog. The dog says, okay, I need to kind of move with the hand. Pretty soon your hand will have to be there. Yeah.
And this is, he hasn't seen this since Saturday morning.
Good. Oh, that was way better. Way to go, kid. Nicely done. So, because of the size difference, you're really going to have to, yeah, you're going to have to really bend. There's almost no way around it. Good job. You should do competitive obedience with him. It'd be fun.
He's very smart. He came to me just as smart as he is. Scared to him to come and walk through.
Good
the door.
job.
He answered to anything.
Really?
As long as it was a high pitched noise, he would come.
Me too, as long as they say brownies.
I think so. Yeah. Heel.
Starbucks. Yeah, I know. Me too. Okay. All right. So, have I fried your brains yet? A lot of information, isn't there? Healing is a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work. You guys all did it really well, I thought. Sorry I didn't get to come around to you, but okay. You guys all did really well. Remember, if you can take one step, you can capture that one step, and your dog does it. Everything you want. The dog's heads up. He moves with you. He sits when you stop. Then you can just add on to that. I can't tell you how quick you can add on to that. I can't say in a month your dog can heel back and forth down this building. Okay. You have to work with what your dog is offering you and what your dog can give. One of the things I was going to tell this young lady, but I'll tell everybody, her dog has a point where it kind of checks out. Like you can see her dog just gets fried. It's like, oh man, these lessons are too long. I hate having to have an hour-long lesson. I think I've told you this guys before. If I had a choice, my classes would be only 30 minutes. Because for an hour, for a dog to do an hour-long lesson is way, way, way too long. But from a marketing point of view, I can't market 30-minute lessons. When people are, I can go that business and get an hour-long lesson. So when you guys work with your dog, these are too long lessons. 5 minutes, 10 minutes at a time. Especially for this dog, especially for the little brindle over there. She's like just everywhere. One of the things that I reminded him a couple times today is even though his dog's body is X amount, like it's big, its mind is still very, very young. And we always have to remind ourselves, okay? All right, so is there anything in the last 4 weeks that, one, I didn't either cover, you want to ask about, two, that if you're here, you didn't really understand. Did you have any questions before I hand out your guys' graduation slips?
How do you, when you tell them to sit or down, how do you extend the seconds? I didn't get that last week.
Yeah.
Sure, so that's a really good question. one of the things that we do, and a lot of people will probably disagree with this, but we have to increase our pay schedule. So if my dog downs, boom, I feed him again, I feed him again, I feed him again, and then I release him. So I just did 4 feedings in a 15-second time frame. Okay, and I'm happy with that for 2 or 3 days. After 2 or 3 days, I maybe feed him 1,000, feed him 1,000, feed him 1,000. I'll maybe do that for a couple days, and then it'll be down, feed 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, feed 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, feed. You see what I'm doing here?
Yeah, but that's because you're taking a step back and then a step forward.
Yes, so if your dog in the down, if your dog can down, will you stand in front of him? Then you're ready to move back. If you can't get your dog to just down when you're standing in front of him, then taking steps is going to do you no good. Does that make sense?
Well, how do I extend it though?
I get.
Last week, it didn't make sense to me that the dog is sitting in front of me and I'm taking a step back. She's jumping on me for food. And I've been working on that during the week and it's just not registering. Or me for that matter, and how to do it.
Sure, so there's 2 parts that we kind of talked about tonight. We talked about the part that she's getting frustrated, that the pay schedule is not high enough, right? So that is a separate piece. That's something that you need to work on. It's like this overall kind of belief system that she has. Right now her belief system is, hey, to get mom's attention, I just jump on her. To get mom to feed me, I'm rude to her. You need to work on that piece separately from, that's not a sitting piece, that's just that's a manners piece, let's call it.
So if she jumps on me, then just walk away.
Well, try not to walk away. Try to ignore her. And I know it's hard because she's a big dog, but if you can just stand there, don't even look at her, just ignore her, she gets nothing from you pretty soon, because you taught her that jumping up on you. In a negative way, you've taught her that. In other words, she jumps up on you, you've turned away. She's jumped up on you, you pushed her down and said no. And I'm not trying to harsh on you, but I saw you do it a couple times tonight.
And it's true.
And you say her name. And those things, even though they're negative to us, they're positive to her. You're reinforcing it to her. Okay? So you need to teach her, like, boom, like right there. If that was my dog, I would have jackpotted the dog. It's too late now, right? I mean, you can still, but I would have jackpotted. Why? Because the dog made the correct choice and said, hey, I don't need to be all over mom. I can just hang out and be a dog. Does that make sense? So the piece on working on moving back, it's a separate piece from this. And that's just, once you can walk back, walk forward, then you capture that. Next time you walk a little bit further, back forward. You're going to find a point where you're halfway through your leash and your dog jumps up and comes to you. If you reach that point, then you pushed it too far. You need to go back to say, okay, if at 5 feet the dog comes to me, then I need to work at 6 or at 4 feet for at least a month. After a month, then I'll ask for 5 feet. Dog training is not easy, guys. This takes a lot of work.
I'm going to tell my husband you said that.
Yeah, well, as men, I'm going to pick on men for a minute. As men, we want to take this approach as, I want to make the dog do it. I want to physically manhandle the dog. I want to just force the dog, okay? We get away from the science part of it, and we want to work on forcing the dog to do it, and that's just not the way to do it, okay? Any other questions? Yes? Can you get my camera out of the van? Camera.
Climb up and like stretch.
The camera's in my van on the dash.
Is it low?
Yeah.
Is there a way that we can?
He like gets all the way up in your face though and wants to like claw you while he's stretchy like this. And it's like his little paws are just so sharp.
Yeah, because it's part cat. I mean, that doesn't make sense, right?
Obviously. So like, what do you do to make him stop that? You tell him no and to get down and stuff, but every time, especially in the morning, he's like.
Do you guys want to see something cool? Watch this. There's a buddy of mine, he hangs out here sometimes. Pickles. 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 Okay, does he understand what I'm saying? Okay, what if he's a cat? No. No. Okay, he doesn't understand what no is, right? So, I know I'm being a smartass here, but no means nothing to the dog. No means nothing to the dog. You can say, do you want to get neutered? No. The dog has no idea. The dog... Okay, you just asked me how I want a cookie. So what I'm trying to say is, when the dog does something wrong, unless you've taught them not to do it, telling him no, or a negative marker word we call it, does no good. Okay, so what I would try to do is I'd say, okay, when does the dog do it? Okay, if the dog does it when I first get home, then the moment I get home, I'm going to be ready to offer something else to the dog. Whether I tell the dog, go get the toy, oh, bring me a toy, and I throw the ball for a couple minutes. I redirect the dog. Or let's say every time we sit down, you guys sit down to watch a movie on the couch, that's when he does it, okay? So I would say every time I sit down on the movie to watch a couch, I'm going to have some reward, and when the dog doesn't jump up on me, I'm going to reward him for a different alternative, a different behavior. The dog's going to offer, instead of jumping up on us to get attention, maybe he'll sit there and look at you. Boom, you feed him for that. Does that make sense? Because I almost guarantee he's got to do it at certain times, more than others. When is it? I'm curious now.
After he wakes up or after a nap, anytime he just wants to like
As soon as he
stretch
gets
it out.
up, or if I go into the office and he'll go to my mom works in the office.
Okay.
He'll go up to her, and that's like his greeting to her.
Okay. So teach him.
To stretch on her.
Teach him an alternative way to greet. I mean, you can't get mad at the dog. So probably one time the dog did that, and your mom, oh, and the dog says, oh my gosh, that's how you must want me to greet you, you human. You know, right? Yeah. So if the dog came to her and just came and looked at her and stared at her, and she rewarded for that, then the dog says, oh, that's how you want me to greet you, instead of doing it this way.
What about that technique that you showed last week with the where you screw the dog through the
Yeah, you can drop. That's the same thing. You can when the dog comes to your mom's office, just drops a handful of food. I almost guarantee it's going to redirect the dog. The dog's going to say, "Oh, thanks, you feed me. I see you now. I'm going to leave." That initial like, "Oh my gosh, there you are," will kind of blow off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, guys? Well, you guys are awesome. Remember, this takes a lot of time. My friend here, Christina, is going to hand out your graduation slips. Yes, you guys graduate. The fact that you've stayed here all 4 weeks and put up with me, you deserve a medal. If it is possible, I would like to get a photo of you and your dog before you guys leave, if I can. I do post your photos on my Facebook page. You're welcome to pilfer them off there, or you can email me and say, hey, I want a photo of that good-looking guy in a wheelchair, and I'll gladly send it to you. If you do not want your photo, I will cry a little bit, but I will understand. So, I'm going to just have you guys stay seating. I'm just going to go from around the room that way, if I can. Get a photo of each one of you guys. If you guys need me for any other reason, you can always call me. A lot of times I get the question, do I have follow-up classes? To be honest with you, I cover so much in this class that I don't have like another basic obedience class too. Plus I have 2 other jobs that keep me busy. If there's something that comes up, you guys say, hey, you know what? I really need help on this, or I really, you know what? You didn't cover this. You can always call me up. I will gladly meet with you one-on-one, and we can work on those particular issues, okay?